Hey patrons, Carl here, Tactical Rifleman. Welcome to Tactical Tuesday. I've got Steve here with me, of course. I got Steve, the man. He's trying to do clear glasses so you can see how beautiful his eyes are. Anyways, we're going to have us a great live stream tonight. Me and Steve, we just got back from our annual Patreon course down at Beaumont Ranch in Texas. It was awesome. I want to thank our sponsor again tonight, Sportsman's Guide. Sportsman's Guide is kind of awesome, man. It's kind of like the Costco of the gun world. You know, you sign up online, you be a member. Now, don't get me wrong, you can go to their website anytime you want. But if you sign up and become a member, it's kind of, you get a discount. You do. You get a cool discount. I don't really care about that. Discounts are awesome. What I care about is it's like one of the only places on the web that is not just a gun, ammo, camping place, but it's also Army surplus. So if you want an old Alice pack, if you want to get your hands on some of the big ammo cans for the Mark 19 ammo, that's what I use for chairs in the tornado shelter filled with ammo. All right. Anyway, I'm joking. Anyways, great stuff indeed. You check it out at Sportsman's Guide. Good stuff. I want to thank Sportsman's Guide for sponsoring us again tonight. How about you, Steve? What you up to, man? Steve is busy on his phone letting the world know that we're live right now on Tuesday.
We're live. We're back. Because we wasn't here last Tuesday.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that, guys.
We're busy sipping gun smoke and rain. And rain. Thank you,
it wasn't
Texas.
that bad. It wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad.
I got guys texting me, letting me know they're not going to make the live stream. Why would you do that? Guys, I want to give a shout out to, because you guys always ask me about my coffee. You guys know I like my coffee. And I got a care package in the mail today. A lot of you guys ask how I get my coffee. This is how I get my coffee beans. I literally get them. I get them in big bags. 5 Stone Frontline Coffee. He's often in the chat room, guys. He's a great guy who's trying to. He does a lot of missionary work overseas, Africa, all over the place. He's a great guy. Oh, guys, you don't understand how good this is. I don't know. This is one of his good roasts. Okay, this is ones that I get a lot. All right. Anyways, I don't know if you guys can see. If you look, you can see how the inside almost looks wet. All right, and that's because when you do a dark roast, when you're actually roasting your beans, when you roast coffee beans, you're waiting for what they call the crack. You'll hear it's an audible crack. Even if you're deaf, you can hear it. But if you want a dark roast, you wait right till you hear this, what they call a second crack. And what it does is it basically caramelizes all the sugar on the outside of it. And guys, it looks a little wet in the packages. You're like, man, this stuff, no, it's not. That just means they went to the second crack. And you actually lose a little bit of, you lose a little bit of caffeine. There is truth that a light roast has more caffeine than a dark roast. Okay. Yeah, guys, it's nighttime. And so anyways, I started off this live stream because I've had a long day. 8 shots of espresso, all right, from his beans. Thank you, Eric, by the way. And you guys can get some of that, by the way. He's got, I think it's TR10. Full disclosure, I don't make a dime off of it. But he is a TR fan like you guys, and he wants to help out his brothers and sisters out there. So I was gonna put some cream in this stuff. I put a little a little Italian cream in it, a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that, just a little bit. But while I was at my Patreon course, somebody got me a bottle of Mr. Black coffee liqueur. So I've never tried this before, and man, they filled that puppy all the way to the top. All right, I figure we will We're going to try a little bit, just a little bit. Steve don't want any.
No.
Oh, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, that's going to be awesome. It's going to be the best coffee I've had all day, and that's saying a lot. I had a bunch of company come over this morning, and I was good company. I always have good company. Yesterday morning, I had Emery Morgenstern here. I had Alan Kay. You guys, I know you guys know Emery. We haven't had Alan Kay on a live stream. Alan Kay is if you guys know the TV show, I was a reality survival competitions called Alone. They put guys out all by themselves. They got to film it and everything. And the first season, that's the one that Chris Weatherman was on. A friend of Chris's, he's like, hey, you got to bring this guy on the show, a guy named Alan Kay from North Carolina. Alan ended up winning season 1. And Alan's an awesome guy. Anyways, we brought Alan down to our Patreon course. He attended Gunrunner Pistol as a student, but then he was one of our instructors for the Patreon course. And we had a great time. So anyways, Alan and Emery spent the previous night, they actually spent 2 nights here following Patreon. They were wore out. Emery hurt his back real bad. But anyways, safe travels home. And but anyways, coffee yesterday, I had a full house. Literally, it was great. And then this morning, same thing. I have my brother-in-law, my nephew, my son. Everybody comes over, and we do this as a family thing every day. And I'm sure there's scientific data out there to back it up. But if you bring family together often, you'll find that you'll have less stress in your life. It also gives you other people to yell at besides your spouse, and that's always good for marital affairs. All right. Me and my wife, we don't yell at each other. Literally, we raise our voice from time to time, but we've been married 31 years. She has never given me a reason to pick a fight. That's crazy, isn't it? That is really crazy. All right. Steve Holland just texted me that we're live. Thank you, Steve. You're freaking nutbag. All right. Good stuff. I've got, you guys know the deal. If you're new here, if you're new to Tactical Rifleman, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat room. Now, if you want to click that button down there that with the $sign on it, you can do what's called a super chat. You pay, like, let's say you pay $2. It stays on the screen in a bright color for so many seconds or minutes, depending on what you do. I've had guys throw down $200 super chats and their questions stayed on the screen the entire night, which is awesome. So if you want to make a small donation to the preservation of Carl Erickson Foundation, understand I'm all about it, but you don't have to. All right, you just put a good question in the chat room and my moderators will pull it out and they'll send it to me on my phone. You'll see me, I keep looking at my phone. It's not because I'm surfing porn. It's because I'm checking to see if I have any questions coming in. All right. So what's new with Steve? How much longer you got before you're done notifying everybody individually?
Well, I've hit 75 so far. I've got another 110 to go.
The funny shit about Steve Holland, right, is I will send out a group chat. That's supposed to be like the Sunday afternoon shooting chat. And I'll send it out to everybody that we're inviting, right? And sometimes I'll have like the sheriff and the chief of police and doctors and all these other people on that text. There'll be like 30 people on the text. And everybody responds whether they're coming or not. Well, for the next 4 or 5 weeks, Steve starts texting them all the little pictures he pulls off of Clickety-Clack and TikTok and everything every morning when Steve wakes up. And I don't need Steve spamming the chief of police, the sheriff, these doctors, everything else. So what I do now is I text all them separate, and then I text Steve because Steve already has enough group text because he puts me on some. And I love the ones you send out on Alpha and everything else. He's got a text that he started called Alpha. That's the one that I actually just got notified on. All right. Susan's saying we don't have any questions yet. That's cool. Leif LeBlanc Just missed you down at Black Cap, brother. Rangers lead the way. Yeah, I'm sorry, Leaf. I specifically scheduled our Patreon course the same time as Black Cat on purpose because I just had knee surgery, brother, and I don't need to be parachuting yet. I will be there to parachute in March. What we're talking about, guys, if you're not familiar with what we're talking about, is Round Canopy Parachute Team, USA.org. We are getting ready to go make the jump into Normandy, France, for the D-Day celebration. That's next June. 7 June is the anniversary of D-Day invasion. So anyways, you must be current to do that. So anyways, Leaf went down to jump. So did David Duenas. Actually left our Patreon course a day early so he could fly back to Florida and jump with some of his buddies that were out there with Leaf. The next time they're doing this, for those of you that want to sign up, they are doing it in March. They're doing it, instead of it being 1 week, they're doing it 3 weeks solid. The second week, 11th through the 17th, is when I will be there. You don't have to be there on the 11th, but I'm actually the airborne commander this time. And I've got to be there on the 11th for Jump Master Refresher, and then Airborne School Extended Airborne Refresher starts on the 12th. And they'll have the C-47 Tycho Bell there. It's going to be a great time. Horse Soldiers Bourbon's going to be there. Grunt Style T-shirts is going to be there. A bunch of organizations that want to be part of the jump in June. They're all going to be there. So anyways, it's going to be a 3-week party. I'm only going to be there the second week because I'm getting a little too old for this party stuff. But anyways, I'm throwing it out there because they literally just put it on the calendar yesterday. If you want to sign up for Operation Sand Snake 2024, and that's what they call it in March, you can sign up again at Round Canopy Parachute Team USA.org. Plug it into your Google search engine and you will easily find it without a doubt. And sign up because I'm going to be there. My son's going to be there. Hopefully Emery's there. Hopefully Leaf LeBlanc can come back. But we're gonna have a bunch of great people there. Great people. Man, Kraken's here. We got a bunch of people throwing comments out. That's awesome. Woo! Wow, we're going to be up tonight. It's going to be awesome. That's some strong coffee right there. We got a few questions came in. If you guys can see that. So let me get started on these right here. All right, let's see what we got. We got, that's the one from Leaf LeBlanc. I got that one on my own. Cool. All right, next one is from Big Gus. When will the ATSK Carl Warbelt kit be ready for sale? Today's Tuesday. I'm going to run down the ATSK tactical gear this week if I have time. All right, all I've got to do is give them the final blessing. I will bring my belt down there and I'll show them last minute changes. But I know you guys want to get it in time for Christmas so you can tell your wifey, your better half, you know, hey, honey, I really for Christmas this year, I still have socks and ties from last year. If you buy me any more Brute by Fabergé. So anyways, you can ask your better half to get you a new tactical rifleman gun belt set from ATSK Tactical Gear for Christmas. You know what I'm asking for this year? All right. I actually ordered it off of Amazon. It'll be here in 2 days, but I'm going to give it to my wife to put under the Christmas tree. I got a titanium water bottle that's got a water filter built into it, French press type water filter. It gets all the way down to 0.1 microns. It's awesome, good stuff. I actually got the idea from Alan Kay. I went with the titanium one so you can boil water and all that stuff, right? Blah, blah, blah. But the other thing is Leatherman has got a new Leatherman multi-tool out that's designed to be pocket friendly. You guys know I love my Leatherman Free P3. This thing is badass. It's got all the stuff I need in it. It's got a saw. It's got the one thing I use more than anything else, believe it or not, are the freaking scissors. But it's all designed that that you can use it with one hand. It's magnetic, and I love it. This is my go-to Leatherman. Every day, got it on me. But I want to try out this new one. So, right, people ask, Carl, what do you want for Christmas? What's Santa going to bring you? Santa will probably bring me coal again. That will make 3 years straight. But my wife always takes good care of me. I'm pretty sure she's going to bring me a titanium water bottle. All right. How about you, Steve? What do you want for Christmas? Don't be saying world peace or no shit like that. World peace puts me out of work. I'm not a big fan of it, dude. I'm just not.
I would like for God to fix the problems in Israel, in the Middle East. I would like for God to fix the problems that are going to pop up in the upcoming 2024 election.
Ooh.
I would like God to continue to love us all and forgive us our sins. That's what I want for Christmas.
All right, I got a question actually for both of us here, Steve. Okay. Quo vadis question non-pew pew. With all of the foot time you both have had walking in foreign lands, do you have any special thoughts on socks? Yes. You want to go first or me?
I am still in progress. I'm wearing some Columbia socks right now.
But you also weren't doing 12-mile road march today, were you?
No, I wasn't. It's still a work in progress. I haven't found a specific set of socks that were cover all situations. So I am not the source for socks. I'm still, learning, trying to find that perfect pistol, that perfect carbine, that perfect shotgun, that perfect pair of socks.
Okay, that's fair. All right, guys, we used to get issued Army socks. Okay, wool socks, and actually they're not bad socks. They're not, but growing up in the military scout platoon, everything, a lot of times I was in, I was out a lot and out front walking all night long every night. And what I learned is it's not just your socks, it's what's inside your socks. And what I mean by that is your feet. You need to toughen up your feet. And how do you do that? If you go on a 12-mile road march, because the majority of you out there are manginas, right? Admit it, you fly a computer. You do. You're like me. I went from doing this to now I do this all day long. I fly a computer. I have baby feet right now, all right? But I didn't always have baby feet. I used to have good tactical feet. And so if you were to go out right now and did a 12-mile road march, you would get blisters. Don't do that. Don't. But what you need to do is go out and walk for a while until you just start to get those hot spots, and then stop. Literally stop and figure out where your hot spots are. And if you keep doing that, you'll identify, well, one, you're going to toughen up those spots by only going that far. That's how you build a callus, not letting it go to a blister. All right. But the other thing you do is you identify where you're going to get hot spots. So a good example of that is when I went to SF selection, I brought 60 pair of socks with me, 6 with a 0 behind it. Now, it is a 3-week selection. The reason why I brought 60 pair of socks is right before selection, my recon platoon with the 101st, we had one of our 18-day field problems. It rains cats and dogs. Well, I want to say it was like the 3rd day, my hide sight got rolled up by the Op 4. I got out with one of the other guys, but the other 2 guys got captured along with my rucksack. So I was living out of the fanny pack on the back of my LBE, which had chow and 2 canteens and 4 ammo pouches, this, that, and the other. And we had this one small squad radio, which does not push enough. But if you know how to run your antennas right, we followed the bad guys. the OPFOR. We found out where they put in their patrol base. We got the message back. We linked up with our battalion, and we in turn, the two of us guided the battalion in, helped them set in their support position, and we led them to do the night raid across their patrol base. And I think I actually got like an Army Achievement Medal for it. Doesn't matter. What mattered was Carl spent 10 days in the rain in wet boots wearing the same pair of socks. And what ended up happening was I caught trench foot really bad, full fungus infection all the way up on the tops of my feet. But what mattered was the entire bottom of my feet, all my calluses sloughed off. I went to SF selection with baby feet, like no calluses at all. You see people at SF selection that are having to cut holes in their boots to let the swelling out. And remember, you're walking on sand roads, and their desert boots will be turned rusty brown from all the dry blood because all the blisters have popped. It's nasty. I didn't get any blisters in selection because I brought 60 pair of socks. I brought a bunch of foot powder, but I also brought a roll of moleskin. And again, you guys hear me say it all the time, knowledge is always going to be your best weapon. And what I did was I knew right there is where I get calluses on my feet, right there. Also back on the heel of my foot, but also on the back heel because I'm wearing jungle boots. I brought one pair of jungle boots that was one size too big, the ones I normally wear with thick winter socks. Right, but I brought them specifically for when my feet start swelling. So every day when I'd get up, I'd cut basically, I'd cut 2 of those, one for each foot, and then I'd cut 4 ones shaped like that, one to put on each heel, one to put on the back of each heel, socks, powder, get in my boots, I'm good to go. Stop at lunch and pull out the moleskin, do it again. And that's me maintaining my feet. Now, you can't just go get a roll of moleskin, a pair of penny cutters, medical scissors, and expect your feet to be fine. More important is the knowledge of knowing how to take care of your feet and knowing where your hot spots show up first. All right. As far as socks go, you want wicking socks. Technology has improved, right? So what I use a lot in the wintertime, they're called otter socks. And then I got another pair called seal skins. And these are basically waterproof socks that still breathe, right? I will save them because they do wear out. I'll have them with me in my pack, in my kayak. And I do not put them on until we get that total downpour. And then I'll put them on to keep my feet dry. But other than that, I am running thick winter socks that are in the wintertime. I will be wearing thick winter socks. And I caught frostbite on 4 toes, these 2 on each foot. In Ranger School, I went through in the winter of '89 when all the orange groves froze in Florida. Yeah, I was chest deep in the Yellow River. Snow up in the mountains, snow in Dugway, Utah. But I actually caught frostbite in Eglin Air Force Base in Florida, serious as a heart attack. So when it gets below 50 degrees, I lose all circulation in my feet. So it is important for me to keep my feet warm and take good care of my feet. And you start adding Achilles tendon injuries and everything else, and I'm broken. I really am, but I deal with it. I deal with it. All right. All right. Enough on feet. Anything to add, Steve? No? You said work in progress.
Work in progress.
Tank Dank 2016. Susan, could you ask Carl if he used to paint his mags when he did his gun? No, I actually paint my mags separately. And I never really painted my mags in the military. Other than I painted my SR-25. But if you look in the pictures, let me find you a picture of my SR-25. If you guys look, that's me sitting on the hood of the vehicle. And I know it's not in focus, guys. But if you look at the magazine sticking out of that SR-25, it is unpainted. And that's because if they are close enough to see my magazine, they're pretty well too close. I do paint my magazines now, but here's how I do it. I paint basically nothing that goes into the magazine well gets painted ever, because you're just adding one more bit of friction, and I need my magazines to drop out of the gun. All right, so I put a cardboard sleeve over that, and I just lightly spray paint them. I like magazines that have got a clear window on the side. The Magpul ones have it. The Lancer mags have it. A couple other brands. Make sure you tape that up before you spray paint them. But my main reason for just spray painting, mostly just the base plates, is so when Emery dumps 10 mags on the ground and I dump 5 mags on the shooting range and all the clients dump all their mags, I can pick up which ones are mine. And I always mark them with KE dash whatever number magazine is. So you pull one off of my gun belt, it might say KE dash 12. It might say KE dash 17, KE dash 23, whatever it is. You have to touch it up every so often. Why am I numbering my magazines? I appreciate you guys asking. I number my magazines because let's say you have a jam, right, a malfunction with that firearm. You immediately do, tap rack, or if you're within 25 meters, you would transition to that pistol, whatever your SOP is, right? But make note of the magazine that you had the jam with. Right? Now, chances are it's bad ammo, right? Because we're not in the military. You might be buying crap Remington UMC ammo, in which case you don't need dummy rounds, right? You just use their crap Remington UMC. Chances are it's the ammo, but if you look and it says KE-6, just make a mental note. The next malfunction you have, it might be 3 days later, it might be 2 months later. Check. Yes, that's magazine KE-06, KE-6 again. If it's always the same magazine, first try to clean the magazine, because the reality is most of you monkeys have never cleaned your magazines. But clean it one time. After that, if you keep having jams, I used to shoot them. Now I recommend you run them over with a vehicle, right? And that way you don't have to worry about somebody else taking them out of the trash. Get rid of it. Make sure nobody can ever use it again, because the magazine, and they've been saying it for almost 100 years now, the magazine is the Achilles heel of a magazine-fed semi-auto weapon. That it is the weak point of that weapon, going all the way back to 1911. All right, going all the way back to the BAR, going all the way back to the M1 carbine. The Achilles heel of magazine-fed weapons will always be the magazine. All right, next one. All right, Susan.
Before you hit that one.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Just a note of what you said about painting your magazines. And if they're close enough to see the difference between a painted magazine and an unpainted magazine, then you have an issue. I remember when the Army went through the 3-pattern desert, thank God it went away from the chocolate chips. I never could figure that one out.
Because it blended in at NTC. Serious as a heart attack, dude. It blended in at the National Training Center in California. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So it would look like chocolate chips. When the Army went to the I think it was we call them DCUs.
DCUs.
They issued a sleeping bag with a DCU camouflage pattern, and that always kind of when they gave it to me, I said it's got a camouflage pattern. I said yeah. I said why didn't they just make the cover a camouflage pattern except the actual sleeping bag? Because if they get close enough to my sleeping bag to see that it's a camouflage bag in the sleeping bag, I have some issues. Okay? That's just me saying. So it always amazed me, why would they camouflage the sleeping bag?
That's fair, Steve. That is fair.
It's just like you said, camouflage in the magazine. If they get that close, most of my mags I like to go with just one flat color.
Holy snap. I got a question here from Karen from Patreon. Karen Harrison said, what was your favorite thing about Patreon? I'll let you go first, Steve.
Is that Karen?
Mine's a long
Is that Karen and Toby?
Karen and Toby.
Toby.
No, it's Karen. It's
okay, Karen, but I know Toby's watching. Toby. Let me say this. John.
Oh, what happened now? What did I miss?
Karen, we're gonna get to your question. We always had a John Vandenbosch.
Yeah, John Vandenbosch.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this Patreon we have John Rock.
John Rock. John Rock's Angels.
So we're taking the class picture, the group
Yeah.
picture. So Gary, I take my cup out of the picture, and I always have a towel with me. So to
I'm not even going to ask why
get
you
it out of the
always have
picture,
a towel.
so I put it up on the horseshoe wall, right? Get it out of the picture.
Yeah.
Now, as I'm sitting in the chair, I started to sink in the mud because it's been raining, and I say, "Hey, I'm sinking." So I didn't know, but John Rock was standing behind me. So John caught my chair as I'm sinking. So when the pictures are over, Gary says we're released. I go to pull the chair up out of the sucking mud, and John Rock standing behind me. He goes, "Oh, Steve, good. I got the chair. Don't worry about it." I said, "Okay." So as we were walking toward the classroom, the barn, there's my cup and my folded towel sitting on top of the horseshoe stand. So John Rock walks over, picks up my towel that's next to my cup, and he starts wiping the mud off the bottom of the chair. I said, "John, what are you doing?" He said, "I'm wiping the mud off the bottom of my chair." I said, "With my personal towel." He goes, "Oh, is that your personal towel? I didn't know." Okay, it's sitting by my personal cup. There's no other cup and towel on any of the horseshoe walls. He goes, "Damn it, Steve." So he walks back, and jokingly, I pull up a picture of a golf towel. You know, golf towels, they have a carabiner hook in it, so you hook it. And I showed it to him. I said, "Hey, they're at Walmart, $5.94." And John says, "Yeah, but it's cost me $10 to go get it." I said, "When you go into the range, you go pass right by Walmart." So he goes to his car. He slams down a yellow microfiber car cleaning towel. He goes, "Here you go, Steve." I said, "But John, it smells like Windex." So
Did you really tell a guy to go get you a new towel?
I was joking with him.
I know.
So he goes to the car. He gets his yellow towel. Mike, he said, "This is a microfiber towel." I said, "Yeah, but it smells like Windex." So he comes back. He goes, he gets the muddy towel. He goes, "Steve, I'll wash this towel, your towel, tonight with me when I take a shower." I said, John. I said,
I will rub your towel underneath my ball sack and spit in it for you making me do this. That's what I heard.
I said, "John, you know that saying, you had me at hello?" I said, "You had me at your towel in the shower with
ball
me."
sack. All right, Karen, my favorite part of Patreon. I will always be visiting with all the patrons, and he mentions John Rock. I want to show you guys a picture of John Rock. With my favorite part of Patreon was we had the day 2. It rained day 1. It rained cats and dogs, and I had 4 patrons there: John Rock and Karen and Susan and Maria. And I knew the girls were going to quit because it's raining cats and dogs. Not only didn't they quit, I'm going to see if I can get this picture here for you guys, but that's John Rock's Angels right there. We had a costume party the third night, and John Rock out there at the shooting range. And my favorite part of the course was not the Halloween party, not at all. I'm glad everybody had fun with it, but my favorite part was watching you, Karen, improve and not complain about the rain, and watching Maria improve and not complain about the rain, and watching Susan improve and not complain about the rain, and watching John Rock. Not only did he improve, but he didn't mind getting stuck with the 3 amigos, and everybody shot great. And anyways, good stuff indeed. Karen, thank you for letting me.
Speaking of that, my favorite part.
To be used against me in a court of law. Yeah, like I said, costume party. Costume party. All right, next one is from Philip Wilson. He threw down $5 minus shipping and handling. Talk to us about infiltration methods like fast rope from Helos, Humvees, etc. You said nothing from Ospreys. When you don't fast rope from a Humvee, I guess you could. Phil Wilson was there. Another page. That's Philip Wilson. That's Philip Wilson.
Philip.
Yeah.
My brother.
Understand, there's nothing fast about a fast rope. There's not. If you look at the Little Bird helicopters, 160 has got two companies of Little Birds. One is armed, the AH6s, and the other one are your cargo, the MH60s. They've got the bench seats on the side, and they've got the little brackets for holding 12-foot fast ropes. And the intent is never to use a fast rope. And what I mean by that is I've been on MH47s where they come in over the top of the building, and they will put, that's the big twin rotor dish helicopter. They will literally put just the back two wheels on the top. They'll drop that ramp and you run off right onto the roof of the building. And that's what they do. And I actually got a good Sephardic story. So the final mission in Sephartech, our hostage rescue school at Fort Bragg, range 37, we're hitting the big mount site. It's the final hit. The Black Widow was the high value target. She was actually in the building that I was in, and two of the helicopters were going to land and hit the ground floor. One helicopter, the one that I happened to be on, MH47, was going to come up, and they were going to put the rear wheels onto the top of the building, 3-story building. And we had a fast rope, but we weren't going to use it because we know for a fact that there's no antennas and stuff. They'll be able to just land. Well, we get there, and sure enough, this helicopter is nowhere near the roof. He's way, way up in the air. And we're talking and waiting and waiting. I'm number one. My job, I know, as soon as I come off the ramp, I'm going to lock down the stairwell until I get my squeeze from the number 2 man, which means he's got 3 and 4 behind him. We're going to go down the stairs. We're going to clear the 3rd floor while the guys on the ground clear their way up. Well, all of a sudden, the crew chief kicks the fast rope. No big deal. No big deal at all. I didn't bat an eyelash. I didn't wait. Fast rope goes. Now, technically, the fast rope master, who is the crew chief, he is supposed to check to make sure that the fast rope has landed on the roof, all right, and that the angle is correct, like Steve's talking about, and then he's supposed to say go. I'm amped up. I am amped up. Now, I grab the rope, and right, M4 hanging up my front, grab the rope, pull it in, and I fireman pull straight down this thing. I got it V'd between my feet. I slide, and I always roll left. But for whatever reason, the stairs were off to my right. Soon as I nicked, I let go and I rolled to the right, jumped up and ran over to the stairwells, and I locked it down because I know there's instructors everywhere watching us. And if I was to be looking backwards, that meant I wasn't pulling security on the stairs. They're gonna ding me for that, and I got to graduate, right? So I'm waiting, and I got Sims rounds zipping by from other buildings. I mean, they're passing in front of me, passing behind me. I caught one in the shoulder, but I played it off, right? But I'm waiting for my squeeze, and the helicopter's still above me, waiting, and I mean, minutes are going by. Eventually, I got my squeeze. We went down, and that's another story. If you want to read about it, you have to go to Patreon. Why was there a delay? Let me tell you. There's a reason why we carry 80-foot fast ropes. We carry an 80-foot fast rope, even though it's only going to be a 12-foot drop. Why do they kick an 80-foot fast rope? I appreciate you asking. It's in case the gust of wind comes up and it drags the rope off the ceiling. The fast rope is long enough to get anybody that's on the rope all the way to the ground for a 3-story building. When he kicked the fast rope, it hit the edge of the building and fell off and ran down the side of the building. I didn't even look down because I was looking at the stairs. I went down, I hit the very edge of the building. If I had rolled left, I would have fallen 4 stories because it's a 3-story building. I would have fell 4 stories to my death, but instead I rolled right, divine intervention. Why? Because God loves Carl. And I stacked on the door. They immediately cut that rope away. They've got a quick release, and they kicked the second rope. It landed on the roof, and then the rest of my assault cell went down, and they stacked on me. They gave me the squeeze, and I didn't know anything about this until they're doing the after-action review, probably 4 hours later, and they mentioned, hey, who was the dumbass that didn't stop when the crew chief put his hand up in front of him to tell him to stop? That was me. So, but if you were to time guys running off of a helicopter versus guys coming down a fast rope, you'll see there is nothing fast about a fast rope at all, guys. They're just really not. Infield technique is like parachuting. The whole in the movies where they come in and they pull out that suppressed pistol and they take out the sentry and they land right there on the roof of the building. What movie was that? Harrison Ford. I want to say it was called Executive Decisions. Those were not military parachutists, by the way. Those were all Class D licensed professional skydivers, and 2 of them broke their legs. It took 7 jumps for them to get it right for the movie. You don't do that in combat. You just don't. So you want to talk about infill platforms. You specifically mentioned fast rope. I shared a fast rope story with you guys. I'm having post-traumatic stress here. Thanks, guys. Way to go. Way to hook me up. All right. I'm going to, let's see, I'll hit you guys with some more here. Don't get me started on Ospreys, guys. I got, that's actually Buddy Ward. I took this picture. That's why I'm not in it. But you see, we did use Ospreys. This was like the first year that Ospreys were being used. This picture was taken in 2009, 2010 timeframe. Ospreys had been around a while with the Marine Corps. They had not been, they replaced the MH-53s for the Air Force. And Osprey's a good bird for what it's designed to do, but it's not good for fast roping from. It's really not. All right. Blah, blah, blah. Next one's from Kraken Tactical. He threw down 20 Australian quid. Hi, guys. Question for Steve. What is your favorite camouflage pattern? I'm going to wait for Steve to come back on that one. I got one here from the Donut Eater. Coffee or caffeine while precision shooting? Yes or no? Coffee jitters. My whole thing is, unless you're shooting past a mile, you having a little quiver in your body is not going to hurt you. It's not. More a problem of you having caffeine withdrawals if you try to go a whole precision rifle match, right? 3-day match. You want to go a whole precision rifle match with no caffeine? No, you're setting yourself up for failure. I took the first annual U.S. SOCOM sniper competition at Fort Bragg. That was 2003 or 2004 time frame. And I'm sorry, I don't remember the year. Me and my spotter, Jeffrey Fryer. That's me. That's Jeffrey Fryer. They actually flew us back from Africa to compete in that competition. Everybody else was running bolt guns. We were both running our SR-25s. And we ended up taking 4th place because Jeff had a broken gun, and I did not realize his gun was broken until the end of the second day. And I'm like, Jeff, what the? Give me that thing. And I looked it over front to back, and sure enough, he had a captured bolt floating that was locked up against his gas block. And anyways, we still took 4th place. No big deal. I'm not bashing Jeff at all. He did not know to look for it. We didn't know. Yeah. we did monsters, not just coffee. We were drinking monsters between stages. So yeah, coffee don't bother me. Next one's from Fezig. Oh, we got one here for Steve. Steve, let me go back to it for you, brother.
To finish up, did we answer Philip's question
About
as far as the infill on the Humvee?
Yep, we already did that one. You were light years behind, Steve.
No, I was tracking on your fast rope.
Yep.
Dominating the stairway.
Yep. This is one for you from Kraken Tactical. That's John. You know, I'm not supposed to tell you, but he's working on a pig sticker for you. If he ever mails it. All right. It's going to be a surprise, though. It's going to be a surprise. John has a question. Hey, guys, question for Steve. What is your favorite camouflage pattern? I know what mine is, but he asked you. He don't care about me.
My favorite camouflage pattern.
Don't care about me.
Mr. Kraken, and I don't mean this like as a joke. My favorite camouflage pattern is the pattern that matches the environment that I'm in.
Oh no, Steve! He
That-
didn't ask what works best. He asked what's your favorite. What would you wear to the club, Steve? What's your favorite camouflage pattern?
My favorite camouflage for
If you could only have one camouflage field jacket to wear for the rest of your life,
I got it.
you'd go Odie Green, wouldn't you?
My favorite camouflage pattern is more like falling into my favorite uniform, John, is the old Vietnam OG 107s.
Nice. See, olive drab. Olive drab.
Olive drab. It's not just that it's olive drab. It's that color, and it was the first ripstop. And we used to wear 107s in the desert because once you get the sweat on,
I'm not that old.
and you're rolling around in the dirt, you match everything. OG 107s are like my favorite uniform and camouflage pattern because you can wear them in the woods, you can wear them in the high desert, you can wear them just about any place. And all the other uniforms, I used to joke with my good friend at 511 when we started, doing their pants and their photographer's vest overseas, as if 25 guys walking around in photographer's vests with no cameras didn't stand out. Is they started making the camouflage uniforms to look like sexy. You go down to the FBI Academy, they had the 511 pants, but they always had like the tight crotch and the tight little butt, and it was just all slim. And
Are you looking at my ass again, Steve?
No, FBI Academy students.
Okay.
And they look professional with the little shirt and tight and everything else. But anytime you have something where you try to just squat, do a kimchi squat, and shoot, and you got to force the pants to give for you to, or you lift your knee up and you can't get all the way up to regular horizontal knee height, then it doesn't work. It's too tight. The OG 107s just flow with your body.
Cool. I would tell you guys my favorite camouflage, but he didn't ask me. He didn't. I got a question here from Big Fezzik. Did y'all check Liver Light come on at Patreon? Actually, we really didn't drink that much. I rented the bar with bartender every night for every night of the course. Again, it's a big get-together of patrons. We did a couple bottles of wine the last night that were on the prize table. There was, but I personally did not drink a lot because you understand I'm the ringmaster first thing in the morning every day when everybody else is just starting breakfast. I'm in there getting slides and everything ready. So I personally did not drink a lot. There was a little bit of moonshine being drank back at the bunkhouse. Steve's, oh, look at that smile right there.
Scott.
Philip Wilson, please post the water bottle details. What he's talking about is the one If you guys saw, the guys that were there, you saw Alan Kay carrying a water bottle the whole time. And guys, I literally just took a picture of this thing. Nope, wrong one. That's it right there. I don't know if you guys can read that. Nope. But that is not the titanium version of it, but it basically works like a French press. It has a filter. You just scoop water up out of the river, French press it. The name of the brand is Grail, Grayl. I'm going to be adding it to our Tactical Rifleman store on Amazon, our Amazon store, which is where you guys should be doing all your Christmas shopping. You're going to buy it from Amazon anyways. You should go to tacticalrifleman.com, click on my Amazon store, and then buy that 82-inch flat screen TV, because that way I get credit for it. You know, anyways, good stuff. Good stuff. That's what I would do. But what do I know? I don't know anything. All right. Heather Fly Fishes, excuse me. She threw down $20. Thanks for being you. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate that. And thank you for taking such good care of Phil W. down there in Louisiana. Sincerely, Phil just had a full knee replacement, just like I did. You remember him from the beginning of the Patreon last year. Yeah,
right. No, I remember Heather.
Yeah, Heather and Phil are great people.
I hope that Phil's not whining as much as you were whining when you had yours done.
I don't know, man. He's got a higher pain tolerance than me. We got a question here from Annalise and Kyle Beelard. You know Annalise as Kentucky Fried Korean. She threw down $10. I heard Alan Kay was at Patreon. Does he do any courses or instruction that you're aware of? Yes and no. What I mean by that is we are going to be doing some videos soon and possibly adding classes of Alan's to the TR calendar, inshallah. If I can get Alan to agree to doing it. Alan is good people. He needs good people in his life, just like just like everybody does, and I understand a lot of you are not patrons, and I don't mean to talk about Patreon so much, but we literally just had a 1 week long Patreon event. But for those of you that are patrons of Tactical Rifleman, ask Karen, ask Annalise, ask Toby, ask Susan, ask everybody that attends these things, and they'll tell you we have got a really, really great family here that has helped each other get through some really hard times. And it's not about who's the most badass guy in the room or anything like that. It's not. It's all about helping each other. So I will try to get Alan Kay to let us do some classes, right? Phil W is back. He said ditto. Thank you for being you. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate it. And Phil, sincerely, I hope your knee is doing better than mine was. He is less than a week into his recovery. Oh, that was a rough week for me. He just had it.
Phil W with Heather Fly.
With Heather Fly.
Whenever you say Phil, I think of Philip.
Philip Wilson.
Right.
That is not Phil W. Phil W is Phil W. All right. That's like, two different guys. Philip Wilson's good people.
I know.
Good people. But
I spent
Phil W.
I spent many nights out on the porch.
I don't doubt that for a second.
Philip, nothing's changed since last week. Don't go down those stairs, brother.
Braden 507, Carl and Steve, what was your favorite piece of kit? I was only issued the LBV to put over my plate carrier. What would you pick to go to war with today? Ooh. My favorite piece of kit's a Leatherman. I know that sounds weird. When Leathermans first came out in the 80s, late 80s, I think, I got a Leatherman and never went back. Gerber, Swiss Army knives, nothing. Leatherman. Now, as far as kit like body armor and stuff like that, I like a chest rig. I used to run a LBV or a LBE, which is suspenders, a gun belt that has everything on it with my Alice pack on the back. back when I was in a recon platoon. 4 ammo pouches, only 6 mags in the front 2. The outer 2 were just more storage. Big fanny pack on the back. 2 1-quart canteens, except in the summer it became 2 2-quart canteens. Inverted, strobe light with binos on this shoulder, and the first aid pouch on this one. And then other stuff that would ride up on the front and stuff. There was a lot on it, and honest, it's okay. But as I got into SF, we started running what we call chest rigs. And the advantage of a chest rig, you can put it over body armor, but if you're carrying a big mountain rucksack, it's easy to still wear that without it interfering with your mountain rucksack. And what I like about it is I can lay that right in, like if I'm going to get dropped with my gun, with let's say my SR-25 on the bipod, I can just undo the chest belt and it literally lays in front of me right here under my elbows. So my whole chest rig is right here and my chest is now bare. I'm able to lay it on the ground and I still have all my magazines, my radio, all that stuff within arm's reach. So I've kind of gone to a chest rig. I want to say I switched hard to that in 2002 in Africa. Don Alexander. I got some chest rigs from Steve. They were actually in Desert Tiger Stripe. And I love that pattern for the desert, that particular part of the desert in the Horn of Africa. It blended very, very well with not just the desert floor, but also all the lava rock and everything. So that's good stuff indeed. How about you, Steve? Favorite piece of kit?
My favorite piece of kit would probably be the chest rig, because
See that?
I very seldom did assaulter ops. Most of my ops are sniper ops, and sometimes we never really had a situation where we had, ghillie suits per se. But at the same time, sometimes you wear the bottom, sometimes you wear the top. And inside, it was like taking a shirt from OG 107 and turning it inside out and putting it on. So your pockets were inside. And then you would put your net on the outside and then, tie your ghillie in. And that was more workable with a chest rig than anything else. Because you're only running your carbine when you're moving, and then once you go into your final firing position or in that area, you really put your carbine to the side. You pull your bolt gun out. I will put my carbine inside my drag bag for my bolt gun, so I wouldn't forget it. And and the chest rig was better for me, because then once I finished, I could transition back. And then you want to dump the whole ghillie part, because you didn't want to be in a movement and as you're going out with your security element and get picked up, because other snipers are watching and go like, oh, there's a guy in a ghillie suit. He must be my counterpart.
Yeah.
So then you become the primary target for another sniper. So yeah, I would say the chest rig, because chest rig is more flexible, because depending on what kind of armor you wear, and I always had an armor problem as a sniper, because when you laying prone for hours and hours and hours and hours, the last thing you want is that big hump, affecting your breathing. So I mean, sometimes I would run without armor, but I would always have my chest rig. So yeah, I would say chest rig.
We got one here from Peter out in Hong Kong. He threw down 10 Hong Kong dollars. He says, "Happy Halloween, Carl. What's your preferred treat?" Blonde blue eyes. No, I like chocolate. I've always been a fan of chocolate, and Hershey's chocolate. Good. I don't need expensive chocolate. I like Hershey's. All right, we got a bunch here, guys. I'm sorry, I'm falling behind on questions. Carlos Fernandez. During what years was Steve's service? What year did you come in, Steve?
I came in 1978.
Holy shit. Most of these people weren't even alive in 78. All right, what year did you get out, Steve?
2008.
2008. Guys, I want you to, how many years did you serve, Steve?
30.
30 years of military service. Not just in the military like some of these generals that don't do anything but take credit for shit. Steve was sincerely accomplishing the mission and making the world a better place.
When we were talking about the Round Canopy Club and then the thing up in Normandy, and I started thinking about it, and I said, man, why do my knees and my back hurt so much? And I realized I didn't come off jump status till into my 29th year. So I was still making my required, was it 4 jumps, one every 3 months?
Yep.
And then, of course, all the free fall jumps. So I in my 29th year, I was probably, I think I logged in about 18 jumps my 29th year, going into, ACAP and getting out. And sometimes I wonder, why do my knees hurt?
The Gustache 2531 threw down 5 bones. Just wanted to thank you both for what you do. I appreciate that, brother. I do. Please say hi to your mom and the other 2,530 children that she has. All right. Someone wanted to know if your nutrient survival deal is still going. Use code TR10, saves you 10% at Nutrient Survival, guys. Always will. My bucket that I built for me, and it has all the stuff that I want in it. And I believe it still has, if you still order it, it should have the TR limited edition TR patch and also TR sticker. I actually have, I think I got one left. Literally one left. Only one left. That's kind of cool. I saw a couple guys at Patreon wearing this patch. Don't say Tactical Rifleman because I'm not trying to advertise. But the only way to get this patch, right? And that shit looked good on their jacket, by the way. It looked real good on it. And then the TR sticker. Tell me that sticker's not badass, guys. That thing, right? Is that not badass? These come inside those Tactical Rifleman survival food buckets. But that's not what I care about. What I care about is I actually put in it the food that I like from Nutrient Survival. I'm still trying to get them to make me a good chicken and rice. We'll see. But no, guys, you'll see... I enjoy working with Nutrient Survival because it is good stuff. It's serious as a heart attack. If you look next to the coffee machine, the espresso machine in my kitchen right now upstairs, there is a number 10 can of 3 cheese macaroni that my son has half-ass opened with a can opener, and my wife's 1 cup scoop measuring cup is in there because my son, when he comes in, he just walks right in, fires that, scoops it in, takes some hot water out of the coffee maker, tosses it in the microwave for a couple seconds, and it's good chow. It really is. And here's why this is important. Even just going out day to day, right? We used to carry, I mentioned my butt pack on my LBE. We would carry things of ramen and like the pork patty from an MRE, the dehydrated pork patty, because they didn't weigh anything. A package of chicken ramen is 190 calories, and it has 0 nutritional value other than the calories. All right, just the 3 cheese macaroni, 1 cup of that, one serving, which is smaller than the ramen, by the way, that is 380 calories. And then you get all the vitamins and minerals and everything else, all the added stuff that they put in there to make it even better for you. And calories. Well, I know all the gristle-laden people out there. You're like, oh, Carl, I don't want calories. Nada. It's yes, you build this temple 1 fork at a time, but you have to have the calories to move that carcass, and a carcass that is skinny and doesn't eat well, it's just a skinny carcass. It's not going to perform when you need it to perform. You get out what you put in. And if you put good stuff in, you're going to get stuff back out. Occasionally add a little Hershey's chocolate and a whole lot of coffee. I gave up oxygen. I just do coffee now. All right. Again, use TR10 at Nutrient Survival. Good stuff indeed. Phil W is back with 20 bones. Steve, no whining about the knee replacement, but a lot of the hiccups I got that ran 24 hours a day for 7 days and getting so bad my throat would close and I couldn't breathe. Fortunately, today is way better. Crazy stuff. Apparently, when they were intubating him during his surgery, the anesthesiologist that intubated him nicked something near his gag reflex and literally induced hiccups nonstop for. Can you imagine having hiccups for 7 days?
No.
Can you imagine?
I had it one time for like 2 hours and couldn't take it.
So yeah, dude, my hat's off to you. I would have tried something medicinal, like I don't know, like
a scalpel,
Patron. Like a bottle of Patron. I hear if you drink enough Patron, it will stop hiccups. It'll also stop your heart if you drink enough of it. But if you drink enough Patron, it's guaranteed to stop hiccups and straight thinking and your conscience and your heart if you drink enough of it. It goes in that order, though. All right, guys. Philip Wilson, not to be outdone, threw down $5.
Of course not.
Carl,
the feel.
Carl, please say thank you to your wife for putting up with all of us. I do thank my wife every day. Here's the deal, guys, and we talk about it. And my wife, we live on her family's hill. And my wife is a very private person, and that's why she doesn't want to come on the live stream. But I made the decision that I'm going to try to make the world a better place. I did that for 25 and a half years in the military, and now I'm out. I worked for a while as director of special projects down at Tier 1 Group in Memphis. And then I just saw what corporate America was doing, and I was like, I can do this better. I can do it so much better. Hence the birth of Tactical Rifleman, courses, things like that. But now I've realized that a lot of you can't take courses, but there's a lot of stuff that we don't cover in courses that you guys soak up, little things that I would not even think matter, but you guys pick up little things. Like I know Phil W has now... not Phil W. Philip Wilson. Philip Wilson has written down water bottle. He's written down chest rig with ghillie net, fanny pack with nutrient survival. I know Philip Wilson has got this. He showed me. It's a list on his phone, and it's awesome. Philip, I'm glad you and a lot of the other viewers can take away from me doing verbal diarrhea here every Tuesday. Patreon, and we have some nutbags there. You know, Sherry Champagne, you guys know her here in the chat room. She's a nutbag, but Sherry Champagne, she's a great person. She doesn't have a lot of friends where she lives, and there are other patrons that where they live, their families don't agree with what they do. And I'm not going to throw names under the bus here. Their whole society where they're at do not believe in what they do and the passions that they have. But what they have found here is a place with like-minded people. And when you bring them all together at Patreon course, one, you don't even have to try. You're going to leave there with so many new friends and friendships. And it, for me, it is fun to watch. So my wife tolerates it very, very well. My wife had fun at Patreon. She did. She doesn't participate that much a lot of times because she's running all these other businesses for her father, and she's got so much other stuff on her plate, being a helicopter mom for my daughter. But she does. She's got a lot going on. She does. Everybody thinks she's just on her phone, but the reality is, if she's doing this, she's probably FaceTiming somebody. So anyways, I have thanked her, Philip, I have, and I will continue to thank her for putting up with my ass for 31 years. That poor thing. She's got flaws like everybody else. She's got poor taste in men, but she has stuck by me. There's no way I would have passed the Special Forces medic course without my wife. I wouldn't have passed it. No way. My wife would make me flashcards all day long. We had 1 week, it was pharmacology, side effects, contraindications, indications, all that stuff for each drug. And I'd go to class 5:30 in the morning, get home, she'd have me dinner. She would do flashcards for me, and then I would go 6:30 started my night study hall. We'd go to 9, sometimes 10 o'clock, get back about 10:30 or 11, get back up at 5 in time to be at PT at 5:30, and start it all again on weekends. Because we ran out of veins to do IVs on, we'd be doing primary surveys in the park in San Antonio, public park. And eventually the wives and girlfriends, it's like, hey, we're out of veins. And they would lay there in shorts and a tank top, wearing a C-collar, by the way, and we'd be sticking IVs. And it's hilarious, but the wives and the girlfriends are what got us through the course. There's no way I'd be able to pass without my blushing bride. So, Philip, I will tell her again after the live stream. I know she watches a couple minutes on and off. And she usually only comes in when I'm saying something I'm not supposed to be talking about, and then she vents on me later. But that's why she does it. Right? That's why she does it.
Plugging them and IVing them late at night reminds me of free fall jump master school when we were up in Moon Hall, and the hallways were filled with guys who somehow had access to rigs, and we would be in there till midnight doing JMPI, and knowing that we got to be up at 5 o'clock. We got like 4.5 more hours.
Hey guys, not meaning to cut you off, Steve. I want to remind you guys, and we're on TR Live right now, but I have another YouTube channel called Tactical Rifleman. Tactical Rifleman, this month, we usually do about 500,000 views a month. Right? Because remember, YouTube has been demonetizing us, everything else, and that's fine. That's fine. It just means I'm doing my job right. This month, in the last 28 days, we have done, I'll show you. I will pull it up so you don't think I'm lying. All right. In the last 28 days, we have done 13.9 million views. So I want to say thank you to all of you guys for supporting Tactical Rifleman, watching our videos. But I also want to thank my son, because my son is taking all of my old videos from our first 3 years and making YouTube shorts. Everybody likes to watch the little videos on Instagram and Facebook. Well, YouTube doesn't want to miss out, so they added YouTube shorts. So my son has been taking my old videos and pulling out 1-minute clips, and a couple of them have gone viral, and that's awesome, right? So what I ask is, let's keep it going, all right? Because that will get me more sponsors, because I don't have any sponsors right now. So let's keep the algorithm working. I ask you to help me do that, and how you can do that is, please click the like button and comment. Matter of fact, if you share the video, that full-length video, whatever, if you share it with somebody, that tops all the like buttons and comments and everything else, because they understand, hey, this guy is taking the time to share this thing with somebody else. So good stuff.
And the shorts are really good.
They are.
Last night, I watched the one on how to set up your body armor.
There you go.
And I looked at the date when it was made. I said, wow, that was made like 3 years ago. And, that's one of those things that someone was saying, what's your favorite kit? That it's the little things that you point out that, because like I said, you have an assaulter mentality, I have a sniper mentality. And I was watching, I said, you know what? I didn't think about that.
Yep.
So shorts are good.
All right, Tony Smith threw down 10 bones here. Good evening, guys. Carl, I just picked up a 21 Rubicon Jeep.
Ooh.
I've been doing research on self-recovery gear and good practices. What advice do you have for a new guy that wants to get out on the trails? Do not get lights. Everybody wants to get lights to make their Jeep look badass. All right. No. Do not do a lift kit. All right. All a lift kit does is give you a higher center of gravity and makes you more top heavy. No. You're going to go to bigger, fatter tires once you wear out the tires on your Rubicon. But you understand that's 40 to 50,000 miles down the road. Don't worry about it right now. All right. Every time your tires wear out, you're going to want to go to bigger tires. That's okay. Your Rubicon comes with 33-inch tires. The next time, go to 35s. You will need a lift kit for 35s, but don't worry about it right now. First off, you need a good toe strap, and you need a friend. Never go wheeling by yourself. Now, I don't have any friends. All right, I don't. I had a friend once. His name was Boo Boo, and Boo Boo's dead. All right. My first major purchase was a winch. Buy once, cry once. I got a good winch right off the bat, made by Super Winch, 35,000 pounds pulling capacity, and I'm sorry, that's the winch cable on it, the Dyneema on it. That's what it's rated for, and what that allowed me to do is self-recover when I'm out by myself. Now, understand, your Rubicon doesn't have a bumper set up for a winch, so you're looking at, unless you got one that already has a winch bumper, because you bought one a couple years old. A winch should be your first major purpose. Rubicon already has rock rails on it. I have since replaced my Rubicon rock rails, but the Rubicon rock rails, those are the rails you can't bend. Yeah, I bent one, so I got new ones, and but accept the fact that the best way to look at it is every time you break something, replace it with something stronger, and understand that pretty well from here on out for the rest of your life. You won't be getting any more guns. You won't be getting gun parts. You won't be getting optics. You won't be getting new jackets. You won't be getting pretty well from here on out, all of your birthday presents and Christmas presents are going to be parts for your Jeep, because it is a black hole for you to throw all your extra money into. That said, you guys ever go to a shooting range? You go, you pay to go to the shooting range. And if you go to a shooting range, you'll see people there. They open up their box, they take their pistol out, and they shoot the paper target, and they're having fun. That's how people unwind. They go to the shooting range, and they unwind. They get their mind off of their computer, their job, their spouse at home, whatever it is. They go to the shooting range, and they unwind. My whole life, since I turned 17 and joined the Army, has been about guns and tactical shooting and everything. So when I want to unwind, when I want to get out, when I want to forget about all the different things going on, sometimes I just want to get away. I will push away from the computer. I'll pick up my phone. I'll get in the Jeep. I'll plug my phone in. I'll put on Spotify. I'll open the back door. I'll let my 3 dogs get in the back, and I go to Sonic. I get them 4 quarter-pound double cheeseburgers plain, and then I just go out and drive around. Sometimes I go to a local off-road park. Sometimes because to me, my Jeep that's my out. That is next September, end of last week of August, beginning of September, me and TR Overland. I actually got this cup from Karen. Thank you, Karen and Toby. See, it says Tactical Rifleman Overland Team. And she put a picture of my Jeep on it. And she put my name on it. She made one for my wife, matching. Fits the cup holder perfect. Thank you, Karen. The TR Overland Team in September is going back out to Moab, Utah. It's the mecca of off-roading. and that's my getaway. That is when I unplug from everything. And so, anyways, brother, I welcome to a new world. I hope you love your Jeep. Questions about recovery and stuff like that. You can only learn so much from a video. Get out and do it. Find some local Jeep club near you and get out and hit the trails. It's the only way you're going to have fun. Ray Craddock said, YHWH loves Carl. YHWH loves Carl. I'm assuming Ray Craddock's in the chat room. I have no idea what he's talking about, but it's Ray Craddock. You just never know. Just never know with good old Ray. Guys, that's it for questions. I want to show you guys something, though. You know I'm big on knives. Ray Craddock, being a nutbag, all right? But you know Ray Craddock hurt his arm, so we've run a couple fundraisers for him. And one of the big ones that was donated was by a guy named John Kraken, and Kraken Tactical EDC. He makes these awesome knives. He makes the Randy knife. All my Kraken knives are up there. He makes great knives. They're awesome. They're expensive, but sometimes you just want a toy knife. You just want a knife that's decent. So I had a group reach out to me. They're called Templar Knives. All right, and it says a cut above, and this is me hinting. All right, that's their logo, by the way. All right, if you guys, because Philip Wilson's going to want to know where you're going. All right, that's where you're going right there, guys. Templar Knives. Now, it comes in a fancy Kydex pouch that's got Molly on the back. I don't care about that. Don't care about it. What I care about is this thing has got, it's not paint. Tactical Rifleman is 3D printed on there. It's got the logo on the other side. And it is a out the front switchblade. Now, I'm not big on switchblades because switchblades fail. All right. And I've got the Benchmade stiletto that John Wick uses in the movies. Thank you, taxpayers, for buying it for me. I've never carried it. It's not my kind of thing. But this is a solid, fun knife. So anyways, Templar Knives. All right. And here's the deal. I'm giving you guys a heads up that we are going to be doing a giveaway, all right? And we are going to be doing a giveaway, but not tonight. You're going to see it on the internet coming pretty soon. I'm going to give these away, all right? I'm going to give them away. I'm going to keep one for me. Why? Because I collect switchblades. I've got, man, you taxpayers have bought me so many switchblades over the year. All right. So anyways, Templar Knives. Again, it's got the TR. Now here, for my patrons out there, we are going to make another one. And it'll be the same thing. All right. But it will actually have patron. Not screaming Patreon and all that shit. But it will say TR Patron on it. Exclusive. You must be a patron to get one of those, and I'm trying to work out a special deal with him. He's already given us a code, guys, so if you use TR10, you can go to templarknives.com and you can buy that. I'm told it's already on the website, but be honest with you, I haven't actually looked, but you can go there. The code is TR10. We will be doing a giveaway here. I'm going to see if they can get it ready. Maybe we'll do it next Tuesday. Next Tuesday would be awesome. What do you think, Steve? We'll give away a switchblade next Tuesday.
Oh, awesome.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Did you get a chance to see
it? Are you done with the Rubicon thing?
Yes, I am. I
know. My gosh, I saw the moment I saw the question come up. I said, "Man, I can take a kit
now."
You
can.
Check call it once you talk about Jeep.
Oh, I love my Jeep. Check that puppy out, dude.
Oh, look at that.
You gonna win it in the giveaway?
Have a knife, have a light.
Yep. All right. But again, guys, understand. Me and Kraken, we're supposed to be working on another knife. I'm just waiting for him to toss me some ideas, and then if you want the most badass knife you'll ever see, you got to get the damn Cowboy. That is the Kraken tactical knife that Randy Wurst. It's actually in a box over here. That Randy Wurst designed with Kraken tactical. It's in the big tan case. Big tan bag right there. That's the one. You know how you buy a knife? It comes in like a box. Let me show you the box. Show them the whole bag. This is what you get. This is how big the knife is. You get a no shit one shoulder survival bag, right? And this is how he ships it, guys. But you get. Now it's got the TR logo on one side. All right, but it's got the damn Cowboy logo from Randy's old A-Team. But I want you guys to appreciate how awesome this knife is. This puppy is badass. So when you say, that's not a knife, this is a knife, and you start doing cutting up the guy's leather jacket and shit, yeah, y'all have seen the movie. I know you have. Why? Because you're an American, and every American, you understand there are Australians that have never seen Crocodile Dundee. But every American has seen that. Why? Because Americans are nutbags. All right. So, anyways, me and Kraken, we're gonna get us another knife. I already have one for my patrons, and if you're a new patron, you'd like to get in on the Patreon knife, you can reach out to Kraken, and hopefully he'll give you the same discount he gave all the other patrons. All right, but. Yeah, I just want to show you guys this new knife. It's they're not very much. I want to say it's $141 or something like $143 or something like that, and that should be before your discount. All right,
Randy, how you doing, brother?
All right,
thanks for the 12 hours of conversation.
Tony Dotson just threw down $1.99. I appreciate it, Tony.
Go.
Tony tried to make it the Patreon course, but I guess he couldn't pull it off. Vacation time from work, whatever. Tony, we missed you, brother. We really did miss you. I wish you could have made it. Tony has attended a bunch of our courses in the past. All right, we don't have any questions right now, but you know what we do have is I actually had my son preload some pictures for Steve. All right, so real quick, we're gonna just go through them real quick to refresh Steve's memory. All right, so real quick, guys, Steve wants to talk about the development of, I'm assuming 6.8, or you're gonna talk about primer pocket.
No, what I want to talk about is I received a RFI from
Request for Information, RFI,
yesterday from a very dear, highly respected military warrior that...
You're going to make me pry this out of your face, aren't you? Spit it out, Steve. Come on, tell him the truth. No shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So he asked me, in a perfect world, what would be the perfect rifle carbine for the current soldiers, current war fighters, now and into the future? And the fact that he reached out to me, I was humble.
Sup, Marvin?
I put this. He is Marvin, a special operations retired 3-star general. So he reached out to me.
Am I allowed to say that's because the Army's not happy with the new SIG 277 SIG Fury? Am I allowed to say that or not?
Well, it
I won't say. I won't say it. I won't say it.
Okay. So
which picture you want first?
Basically, he okay. So this is the family of special purpose cartridges when I did the 6.8 SPC, and a lot of people don't understand what we went through. Myself, Chris Murray, USAMU, Troy Lawton at USAMU, to get to the 6.8 SPC. We didn't just start with the 6.8 SPC. Go back to that picture.
Yep.
Now, if you look at this picture, on the left, there's a 5.56 SPC case. On the far left is the regular 5.56
green tip.
And on the green tip, and to the right of that, see how much wider the case is? That is a 5.56 SPC. And you notice that it's got a rebated rim. When I first started...
Rebated means basically brought in smaller than the outer
diameter of the case. And so when I first started, I said, hey, so we won't have to switch bolts. I'm going to rebate down to 5.56 case head. And when I consulted all the people that I respected in the ammunition industry, especially like J.D. Jones of SSK Industries, and you guys need to look him up. Look up J.D. Jones, SSK Industries. He was the first subsonic guru of the world. He started the 300 Whisper, which you now know as the 300 Blackout. And the guy he's an American icon. He's a legend. And so I consulted people like JD, and they said, that's great. Now you're running about 5 more grains of powder than 5.56. When you get in cold temperatures, a small rifle primer is probably going to give you problems. So I got away from the rebated rim, went back to the full diameter to a large rifle primer. Now, as you will see to the right of that is the 6.5 SPC, which I love that. I loved it. That thing flies like a dart. But again, I looked at the gel test, the lethality. So if you look to the far right, you'll see actually that is a 7.62 SPC. We went all the way up to 30 caliber, down to 7mm, and then after all the gel tests, ranging tests, distance, accuracy, we ended up at the 270, which is the 6.8. Now, the other, what's the next
Okay,
one?
go to the next one.
Now, that is when we were testing the 5.56 SPC with the rebated rim. That is my good friend Charlie Pavlik, CP down at Fort Benning, Warfighters Lab, and that is Special Forces Captain Jack Dills, who ended up retiring as a full bird colonel out of Bluegrass.
Okay.
And we looked at all the different bore diameters. And if you look at the latest hotness, the 6mm ARC, it is a 6.8 SPC case, neck down to 6mm, which we definitely went away from that because I used to hunt with 243 Winchester. I lost more deer than I got. I said, well, why would I want to stay down at the smaller bore size? But of course, I don't live at the big castle in North Fort Bragg. The red, what do you call it, Red Roof Inn?
Yep, the Red Roof Inn.
Those guys. So it's when we introduced it to those guys in the troops, when we did a workup on Range 19, the guys loved it.
Yeah.
Their CDD shop didn't love it. But at the time, I didn't know that their CDD shop was working on something that would later be called the 300 Blackout. Because I kept trying to wonder, why are those guys beating us down on this? And then later I found out that
they were
guy
doing 300 Blackout.
doing that retired and opened up his own little shop on Reed Knight's compound. Then it all came together. And Sean Reed and I were down there shooting. But this is the main one when this person I have the highest respect for, and I will say he was portrayed in the movie 12 Strong. When he asked, I mean, it was a lot of questions. He said, blah, 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 blah. And I told him, I said, sir, those are best answered late at night in a cigar bar with some bourbon. I said, but I'm going to try to get it done because I'm going to sip some Fuckleberry from Leatherwood Distillery and try to answer this in the text. So go back to that picture.
All right. The other one.
The other one.
The other one right there.
One.
Okay. That one right there.
That one. Okay. So this is one of my briefing slides from back when I was briefing the commands and Tiswig.
This is what, 2003?
2003, 2004.
Yep. Okay.
On what we needed and why we needed something like the 6.8 SPC. So I basically put this slide together. I said we have a M4 carbine from Colt, which is proprietary to Colt, and
$900. Okay.
Plus or minus $800 or $900.
Yep.
But we have almost if I remember correctly, you guys are probably going to do this. My math is going to be messed up, but I remember it's almost close to $18,000 worth of accessories,
crap strapped
that's
to it,
going on the carbine.
that's only worth $900.
That shoots a bullet that lacks the lethality. And when you lack lethality in a gunfight, you lack respect. If you don't put some juju on a bad guy and he doesn't respect your ability to bring pain and death, he will get in belt buckle close. In Somalia, I saw guys hitting with saw rounds, 6, 7, 8 round bursts. I mean, I know they were chewing on their cot, but at the same time, the Hamas terrorists over in Israel, they show they have a synthetic cocaine. I forget what they called it. Calderon or something like that. They had bags of it. And they said these guys would take things. It's a high-speed amphetamine.
Okay.
Amphetamine. These guys would take them, and it says
meth. It keeps them skinny.
It said they call it a poor man's cocaine.
That's a T-shirt, by the way.
So
coming
you
soon at
can
Tactical
have
Rifleman.
all the fused thermal, all the 3, 4, 5,000 lumen you want, all the suppressed, reduced sound, muzzle blast, and everything else. But if you don't bring the ability to make them respect pain and death when you hit them, you're always going to have a problem. And that is what I put in my text back to this retired 3-star general that basically, and I told him, I said, sir, here we are in 2024. We're going all the way back to 2003, 2004, 2005. But guess what? Nothing's changed. And this is, go back to that one. And this was when I did the Mark 12 SPR program, both the standard Mark 12 at 18-inch barrel and then the Mod H at 16.5-inch barrel. No, it wasn't precision reflex. Shame on them. And basically it's showing the difference in the two bullets. 5.56 on the right, green tip, 77 grain, and then the 6.8, 115 grain projectiles. The Cantaloupe one is from Hornady. The smooth one on the far left is what we call the K bullet from Sierra. And Sierra made that Match King specifically for us because there wasn't a 115 grain 270 projectile. Everything was for hunting. Most hunting 270 Winchester round stars said 130 grains. So I worked with Sierra and I worked with Hornady, and that brought the ability to get respect at the other end. Some things I can't go into details with you right now. The Mark 12 SPR was supposed to transition from the Mark 262 77 grain over to the 6.8. When 5th Group started the HK416 program, no, it wasn't CAG. No, it's this is our, no, it's not. Stop it. So I basically told him, here we are almost 14 years later, and nothing changed because the bureaucracy of small arms ammunition in the government, they will always stick with what's bringing the money in. It's all about the money. And I basically told him, I said, you take the 416, HK 416 in 6.8, and I didn't put the picture of the HK 416 in 6.8 with the HK Steel 6.8 mags in there because I did it on another show. But I basically told him if you take the HK 416 and you put a folded stock on it and it's a piston gun and you run the 6.8, that is probably the perfect platform right now. Even though we had that platform and I was running that platform through the U.S. Marshal Special Operations Group down in Louisiana and the U.S. Border Patrol, what are they, special ops guys? BORTAC. And this was in 2005, 2006, so the platform was already there. But of course, we were doing something that was unheard of. And one of the higher commands, the deputy director, during one of the meetings, she looked at me, she said, well, Sergeant Holland, you know why the 6.8 would never get anywhere? I said, no ma'am, I don't. Why? She said, because sergeants don't design ammo. I said, you know that sometimes the words don't and can't are absolutes? So there's no such thing as don't and can't because I already did. And we did that demonstration at Rattlesnake Ridge. So,
see, she's a GS whatever civilian working at Starfleet Command, and there are a bunch of self-licking ice cream cones up there. Guys, every government building should have a wood chipper right there attached to it, like at the end of the hallway, and either you perform or your ass gets in the wood chipper.
And now the second one that I proposed was, again, and I'm not out here pushing 6.8 SPC until somebody comes up with something better. The second one I proposed was a bullpup. And he was kind of surprised at that. He said that, do you think that the Army would ever go for a bullpup? I said, sir, the key part of what you just said is, would the Army? The Army is not some omnipotent deity sitting above everybody's head. It's kind of like I used to tell my guys in Fort Smart office. They would come in and say, oh my gosh, program is killed because somebody at SOCOM said this. I said, somebody at SOCOM? Who in SOCOM? Where? Which section? Which staff section? Which division? Don't just give it that omnipotent deity. So when he said, do you think the Army would ever accept a bullpup? I said, the Army is this deity. When you speak in that term, I said, you have to say, will these civilians in the weapons programs accept what the warfighter says works for them, and the generals step in and make the civilians accept it. And that's how the programs work.
Yeah.
You have to take what the end user is saying and push it forward. And he said, well, bullpups, I said, the advantage of bullpup is you have a shorter platform,
but a longer barrel.
But a longer barrel. So no matter what ammunition we go with, my perfect ammo will be a polymer 6.8 SPC. You have a shorter platform, but you have I can run a 21-inch barrel on a bullpup, and it'll be the same size as an M4 carbine with a 14.5-inch barrel. You run a 14.5-inch barrel on a bullpup, and it's damn near you can't even see the end of the barrel. And everybody says, well, if you have a catastrophic failure, okay, fix that. Make it happen. I'm pretty sure when they first started making rubber tires, people would say, oh, if it does this, it does that. And so we're going to stick to the wooden wheel. No, we're moving forward, people. We are moving forward. So the next step would be a bigger bore size than 5.56, not exceed the magazine well size of the current AR-15 family, because you want to stay within 7.5 pounds. But I would put it in polymer ammo, because now you're taking a basic load. You probably don't remember this. I got a picture. I took your tactical assault vest.
Yeah.
For the M110 AR-10
yep.
Mark 11.
Yep.
And I said, Carl, I need all the magazines full. And you brought it up, and I weighed it. Then we weighed it in 7.62 NATO 308 Winchester polymer ammo, and his vest lost about 7 pounds. And 7 pounds doesn't sound like much until you're lifting a 25-pound dumbbell and then they add another 7 pounds. So that's huge. So basically what I laid out for him was what we had in 2005, 2006 an HK 416 piston, and we did have the 6.8s. Go to 6.8 polymer, reduce the weight of the ammo in the mags, and then take the 416 and give it a folding stock. I said that would be crazy awesome. And the only thing even close to that would be the Lewis Machine and Tool monolithic rail platform in 6.8 with the folding stock. There's something to think about. And I sent these pictures to Carl Nick today because, you know, it came up last night, and I was like honored for him to reach out to me and ask me that, because he said that, hey, I've got a Zoom call with some higher ups, and this is going to be one of the topics, and I was honored. So I just wanted to share with the TR Nation
good stuff.
What was going on.
All right, we got another one here from Mr. Merck, $9.99, just because. Steve, you got Carl to shoot with my pops yet? Smiley face crying. I have no idea what that means. I have Who is Mr. Merck?
Oh. Coach from MCSC.
No idea who you're talking about.
Coach from Montgomery County Shooting Center.
Coach.
The older black guy, gray beard, comes to Leatherwoods Distillery all the time.
Okay.
Coach Murkison?
No.
Yeah.
I still don't know. Okay.
Yeah, right. he's in the one of the group pictures.
Okay.
That's his son.
Oh, okay.
So, when's
he coming to shoot with us?
No, he hasn't. You probably remember 3 or 4 months ago. I said, "Hey, Carl, Coach wants to come out and shoot with us on Sunday." You said, "Absolutely."
Invite him this Sunday. We're doing Big Bore. This is Big Bore
he
Sunday,
didn't,
guys. Big Bore Sunday, 2 p.m. after church this Sunday on the hill. No, you guys are not invited, but Steve can invite Mr. Merck. And I think, oh, dude, Byron Russell's bringing his wife. John Mon's bringing his wife. Big Al's buying. We're doing a whole ribeye roll. So make sure you come, Steve. No backing out this time.
We were talking about Coach at Montgomery County Shooting Center because he's the one out there with the 22 rifles shooting 200, 300 yards.
I'll take your word for it. Steve, I got Dane Bramage. If it didn't happen like in the last 48 hours, you understand I probably am going to miss out on.
I understand.
All right. My wife gets on me all the time because I don't remember shit. I'm like, yeah, okay. You're right. I don't remember shit. I really don't. All right. I got a question here. It's actually $20 from Phil W. I've got a 10 millimeter sub gun and 300 blackout AR pistol, both suppressed. Any preferences for in the house and around the property? Thanks, brother. I'd go, you running a 10 millimeter suppressed is basically the same as you shooting a 45. Okay, you're roughly same weight projectiles. Your 300 blackout, if it's suppressed, you understand it's a narrower diameter projectile, but it's just longer. So how you're going to get performance, because you're at the same speed, how you get performance in subsonic, if you're going to run ball in both of them, then you need weight. The more weight you have flying at that speed, the more you understand the laws of physics, right? A body in motion wants to stay in motion. It will deliver more energy if it has more weight. Okay. The flip side of that is projectile design. And the reason why I mentioned that is, and the reason why one of the only things that I actually still reload is 300 blackout just for that. You can get, I understand 10 millimeters and 45s that are Hydra shocks and all these other hollow points and everything. Yeah, okay, fine, whatever. 300 blackout, you can get rounds by Lehigh Defense, solid copper that are already pre-cut, and they go in and they just open up into like 4 separate broadheads, and then that 44 grain weighted base. So now you've got 5 projectiles exploding inside the target. So for me personally, I would go with the 300 blackout, and I practice what I preach, guys. My master bedroom gun is a 300 blackout. It is, and that's so one. Anybody's stupid enough to come onto the hill, but also for the deer, the young bucks that like to rub the bark off of my fruit trees in the backyard. You understand that's just not good for you. Don't mess with my fruit tree orchard. Anyways, the 300 blackout loaded with the correct ammo, even subsonic. There's some great projectiles out there.
Okay.
Shit.
That is Coach. Okay. Turn that way. See Coach over there in the far left with the black and white,
Yep.
black vest, white shirt?
Yep. I see him.
That's Coach.
Okay. Cool. He didn't attend the class, though. He just showed up and visited.
No, this is at Leatherwood Distillery. We did this.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
But he goes to MCSC.
Okay. Good stuff.
That was his son.
All right. Cool. I look forward
Coach.
to... Yeah, please invite Coach out to shoot this weekend, Steve. I'd love to have him up.
Coach is the master of the 22 long rifle.
Have him bring his 22 long rifle, but it is Big Bore Sunday. So
Coach will put Big Bore to shame with the 22.
That's fine, but when we put up the steel plates to kill,
I got you,
Byron Russell's bringing a 50 cal revolver, and I'm like, that's fine and all, but I'm bringing the adult 50 cal. I'm bringing a 107A1 titanium that's got a suppressor on it, you know. And if they want to get stupid, I'll pull the expensive ammo out. I'm gonna win. Let there be no doubt. All right.
We're gonna keep score. I'm pretty hard.
I'm reading something I'm not supposed to read out loud on the net. Cool. I will hit that up for sure. Hey, everybody, we are coming up on 2 hours, and that's always awesome. We just got another one here from Marvin. He threw down $10. Sup, Carl. Sup, Marvin. Sup. He said, sup, Steve. Thinking of finally getting an AR-10. Which brand would you recommend and barrel length?
Okay,
honest.
Before you answer that,
all right.
This is Big Bore. That's my son Brian. Resided at Dr. Stitz up in Hawkinsville. That's shooting a 500 Smith & Wesson. Look at that look on his face. That's Big Bore. He was like,
you got to bring it on Sunday?
No, that was Dr. Stitz's pistol.
Okay.
But he had to shoot it. So
Okay.
he bought the ammo.
I bet.
Like 20 rounds for like $60. He shot that first round. He was like, oh,
I'm done with this.
I'm having enough of that.
Steve brought his son Brian, right?
Yeah.
Steve brought Brian out for Brian's birthday, and I set up the Barrett and everything, and Brian had a really good time. He really did. I loved that. Loved having your son come out. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. I want to remind everybody, please share our videos, because I want to keep this algorithm going. I'm not joking, guys. 13.9 million views in the last 28 days, and that's crazy. I mean, it's legitimately crazy. The TR calendar, I know everybody's wanting to sign up. If you want a class in 2023, I have one open enrollment class left, and that is high risk travel. It will be at Montgomery County Shooting Complex. I want to say it's like 7th, 8th, and 9th, something like that. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, beginning of December here in Tennessee. I've got a guy just emailed me. He's wanting to bring his wife and his 14-year-old daughter to it because he's getting ready to deploy over to Germany. Okay. And he wants his family more situationally aware. Absolutely. Why? Because he's a father and a husband that even though he's in the military, he wants to take care of his family. That's all of you. That's all of you. This is, and if you talk to people that have been through high-risk travel, they'll tell you this is a class where you are going to learn more than you ever imagined you would learn. So anyways, that is my last open enrollment class of the year. All my other classes are private.
Give you a quick example of how beneficial high-risk travel is. Think about what happened in Israel on October the 7th and people at a concert.
Right? No, I'm serious. Steve's right. Taking your family to Disney World. How about just going Christmas shopping? Right? Why did they pick the date September 11th? 9/11 is what you dialed. It's significant. They do that. So what day would you attack malls in America? How about Black Friday?
Well, I mean, look at the situation with the guy with Maine.
Yeah.
He went after 3 different locations.
Yep.
Public locations.
So anyways, high-risk travel, guys. First week, you sign up at tacticalrifleman.com. Our 2024 calendar will be going live maybe later this week, maybe early next week. I have sent it to Heather. Heather up in New York City. She's the one that's going to populate the website. I have tried making adjustments to the website, and all I know is I screw shit up.
Shout out to Kieran and Toby. Kieran, to answer your question, what was my favorite part of the Patreon course? It was hanging out with all you guys. I mean, every one of you guys, even through the classes, and then after dinner, and just sitting around at the barn, just fellowshipping. And you know how much Toby and I like sitting around and talking. That was my favorite part of the whole course, is just getting to know everybody. I got to know new Patreons. Young. He was a awesome young guy.
Yang Yu.
He said young you.
Young.
So
Yang Yu.
I forgot to give you my number.
Yang me? No, Yang you.
Check your email. Susan pushed my number out to you on an email. Scott and Marissa, I met them on the ride with Randy. Randy was talking to them. He knows them. And Scott was, hey, we're coming. My fiance, she's not ever touched a firearm.
Never touched one.
Never touched one.
Never touched a gun.
I shot one and didn't like it.
Marissa.
I shot one and didn't like it.
Yeah.
So I worked with her and Karen and Carrie and everyone else on lever actions and the revolvers, and we had a blast. I mean, at the end of the day, she was loading a revolver and slapping her clothes, calling herself, you can call me Clint Eastwood. And most times when somebody says, no one has ever touched a firearm, you have to get them past the jitters. I had to get her past, we're out of ammo. So you can't shoot no more. So Karen, that was my favorite part, is just getting to know everybody, meeting everybody.
Getting a visit. For Marvin, I didn't blow off your question. You asked if you're looking to get an AR-10. I actually just did a video. You can find it in our video archive. I want to say it's 2-3 months ago, on the P3 by Adams Arms. It is a piston gun, adjustable gas block. It's got a good proof barrel on it, 6.5 Creedmoor, and I had to admit, because I'm that guy that said no gas gun shoots sub MOA. This thing is
piston gun.
Yeah, piston. No piston gun shoots sub MOA. It just doesn't happen. This piston shot sub MOA, 6.5 Creedmoor, and anyway, just go look at the video. That is right now, of all my AR-10s, that is my favorite AR-10. I've got a lot of bolt guns, and you want to look at the gun that I will be taking deer hunting, the one I'll be zeroing on Big Boar Sunday. I'll be confirming my P3, and it's a good gun. And Marvin, you got my email address. If you want more information about it that you can't get off that video, hell, you've got my phone number. Just call me. All right. I want to thank my moderators, JT, Donut, Susan, for all the hard work that y'all have done. Guys, if it wasn't for them sending me these questions, I'd be doing this the whole time, trying to read this shit that y'all are saying.
Shout out to Red River Tactical, Ray and Darian.
Okay.
They made the Kydex holster for us for the Uzi hatchet.
Yep.
Which Randy put on the prize table. And I had to tell Coach, I said, Coach, where'd you get that from? He goes, off the prize table. I was like, I'm sorry,
that's
you can't
crazy.
take that. And Randy was like, I said, Randy, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's all good.
It's okay. All right. Parting words of wisdom for the masses, Steve.
Parting words of wisdom. Settle down. Get into the receive mode. Be without fear in the face of your enemies. Be brave and upright, that God may love thee. Speak the truth always, even if it leads to your death. Safeguard the helpless. Do no wrong. That is your oath.
Booyah.
And that's so you don't
Grandma.
forget it.
Coming right there.